Ever had a workout session and felt intense pain afterwards? And I'm not talking about the kind of pain where your muscle tissues are broken down to build bigger muscles, but the kind of pain that is an actual injury and, if ignored, could lead to fatal injuries that could potentially put a pause to your gym sessions for a long time. Well, trust me, you're not acting like a wimp. And that's because in actual truth, it's not you, but the nature of exercises you should stop doing completely. The first exercise would be the shoulder pressing behind your head. If you hear a guy at the gym telling you this is way more effective on building your shoulders than the normal position, they are wrong. And before any bubbles are burst, here's why. For you to so-called perform this exercise correctly, you'll have to rotate your arms outward externally, which is putting your shoulders in an unnatural angle. As a result, puts your rotator cuffs in a highly weak and unstable position. And guess what happens? You trying to lift heavy weights while your rotator cuffs are weak will lead to unpleasant injuries onto your rotator cuffs. Always keep in mind that guys doing this exercise at the gym are absolutely doing it in vain. No matter how big they might look, the only thing they are getting is risks of injuries. Best approach would be to keep the pressing movement in front of your face and not behind your head. Trust me, you'll see more results that way. The next one that's bad for you is the pull down behind your head exercise. This is yet another exercise that is truly bad for your shoulders. You really want to make sure that you protect your shoulder joint. Again, for the same reasons with the shoulder press behind the head, this form of exercise increases the risk of injuring your rotator cuffs, and that will definitely be followed by a whole world of pain. Talk about a really challenging and painful recovery. To fix this, pull down exercises should be performed in front of your face, as this exercise mainly targets your back, specifically your lats. This way you'll be avoiding a lot of horizontal abduction, unlike performing it behind your head. Another exercise that's bad for you would be the leg extension machine. If you are looking for a quick fix exercise or leg day session, then this exercise will do you no good in the long run. Rather, stick to the traditional squats, walking lunges, and deadlifts. This is because with exercises like lunges, for example, you are going to be using your body's natural movement patterns in ways applicable in real world, and you'll be using your stabilizer muscles. Developing lower body strength with exercises like squats will serve as a huge benefit for every kind of sport because, again, of the nature of the exercise movement. Unlike leg extension, even if you add more weight, you essentially wasting your time. The best thing to do, rather, if you want to perform this exercise, is to use it to exhaust your quads at the end of your leg day session. The next exercise is the Smith machine squats. The Smith machine is not entirely bad in and of itself, but performing squats with a Smith machine is not good, as it will definitely not be a free weight exercise, meaning there is no free range of motion on your hips and back, which immediately takes away stabilization benefits. When performing squats on a Smith machine, you are forced to lean back, which forces you to lose the ability to bend your back on your way down, but keep it straight. This only increases the risk of injury to your back. Typically, when you're doing squats on a Smith machine, you are not allowing your hips to move freely throughout this movement. And during a squat, your hips and back should be allowed to curve around its range of motion. Rather, stick to the regular old barbell squat exercise. The next exercise to avoid is the hip abduction and adduction machines. For both men and women, this is a terrible exercise, simply because naturally there is no movement from your body that would put such heavy load on your hips that you would be lifting on these machines during this workout. These muscles are mainly used to stabilize the body when standing, walking, or running, and not to carry such heavy loads in that position. By doing this, you are exposing yourself to serious injuries onto your lower back, and you definitely don't want that experience. The best alternative to working your abductors and adductors is to use a resistance band while standing. The next exercise is the upright row. The upright row is another terrible exercise simply because of the internal rotation that your arms make all the more as you complete the movement. And this, together with the heavy weight you are lifting while doing the exercise, will lead to injuries onto your shoulders. This is because when you are doing this exercise, your rotator cuffs are moving in an unnatural way, and not to mention the added weight to the movement. This is the very same reason why you would feel some impingement onto your shoulders during the exercise, even when you are doing the exercise correctly. Similar to the upright row, physical therapists will put you in the same position when testing for impingement. The last thing you want is to use an exercise designed to test for impingement for reps and sets with heavy load added to it, because continued use of this position would eventually lead to overuse injury. The best thing to do if you want to target the front and lateral head of your shoulders is to perform regular lateral raises. This will give more benefits and results without the risk of shoulder injuries that come with the upright row. To target your traps, you could perform exercises like barbell clean and press as well as snatches. Then, to work on the front of your shoulders, you could lean back on a bench and simply perform inclined frontal raises. Another exercise is the leg press machine. Although a lot may disagree with this, but there is actual scientific evidence that shows how bad this exercise actually is. And since this channel is about helping you build the body you want the correct way, we will have to point this out. Basically, when you lift weight with your legs, your back is allowed to move freely. But the leg press machine, however, does not allow functional performance to your joints and muscles, making it bad for your body mechanically. This puts a huge amount of stress onto your knees and your lower back. When you're on the leg press machine, your back is pinned against the pad, which again doesn't allow free range movement to your body during this workout. And since you're in a lock range of motion, like with the squats on a Smith machine, you end up increasing the chances of hurting your lower back. The last exercise that you should avoid is the back hyperextension machine. Now, there is a correct or safer way to perform this exercise, but more often than not, most people end up doing it wrong. The spine was designed not to pass the point of neutral, but a lot of people extend past that point when doing the exercise on every rep, leading to injuries onto the lower back or an injured disc. Others perform the exercise correctly, but then still increase the chances of strained lower back by adding weight on their chest. Best alternative if you are to try this workout is to learn the correct way to do it without the weights. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this content and hope it helped you a lot. If so, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more content that's free. Thanks for watching and see you guys soon.